It's crazy. There's going to be, little kids flipping me off. I'm going to get batteries and beer thrown at me on the sidelines, all types of stuff like that. But, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to feeding off that energy. I think our team's got that mindset to feed off that energy, feed off the hate.
What are the delusional Pitt Panthers talking about now? Batteries and beer on the sidelines? Get the hell out of here.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. This is Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we're talking about the Mountaineers again on the football side again today, Junior. Listen, guys, thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your team, the Mountaineers, every single day. Going to be brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Right now with FanDuel, football season is here. And if you want to visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now, that would be great. That would be great. We would appreciate that. These comments by Eli Holstein.
And just the teams, all type, little kids flipping me off. I'm going to get batteries and beer thrown at me on the sidelines, all types of stuff like that. But, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to feeding off that energy. I think our team's got that mindset to feed off that energy, feed off the hate and the pure, pure venom and poison from them. Really looking forward to it and can't wait to do it.
The hate, the pure venom and poison from them. Like, how dramatic can we be, y'all? I've been beating the desk for at least a year about Pat Narduzzi and his viewpoints on this, because he continuously puts these little jabs in, these little comments that he makes. And I think what's happened is, over the course of time now, it's just kind of went into the psyche of not only the players at Pitt, but the fans as well. This is not good. This is not something to be proud of. This is not something I'm proud of. This is not something I want people feeling or thinking when they come to West Virginia. I want them to come to West Virginia and say, man, that was a hell of an atmosphere. It got crazy. There was a guy that was blackout drunk in the parking lot, whatever, but I don't want batteries thrown at anybody. I don't want little kids flipping people off. None of that. And it's not happening. That's the whole point of this, is these things aren't happening anymore. These things did happen once upon a time. But it's been decades since I've heard of an incident like this. There could be absolutely, sure. Could there be a one-off here and there? Yeah, sure. I mean, there always is. I mean, people got beat to death at a San Francisco Giants game. It can happen anywhere. But when you're talking about a rivalry game like this, it doesn't need any extra juice at all. None. And I'm sick and tired of Pat Narduzzi and his snide comments that make people think that West Virginia is this dangerous place to go play football, when it's freaking not, man. It's just to the point to where it's just too much. It's just too much. If you go back to, the radio interviews that he's done and all these different things, the 2023 radio call-in on 93.7 The Fan, where Narduzzi blasted West Virginia fans and saying that the older Pitt supporters are scared to visit Morgantown and would rather go to the zoo. That was the first time I remember him pointing something like that out. And I thought, okay, he's talking smack before the game. Back in June or July, he talked about West Virginia fans being less liquored up, and less likely to throw beer cans ahead of this year's Backyard Brawl. I think it was ACC Media Day or somewhere along those lines, because of the kickoff time being at 3:30 instead of at night, right? He said they'll be less likely to throw a full beer can. So, this is things it's coming from him. It's not coming from anywhere else. Pat Narduzzi is making these comments, and Eli Holstein is just repeating what he's been told. I don't blame him. I really do think he believes that, what he was said just now. It's not true. I don't understand why we're not refuting a lot of these things, because, I mean, maybe I care too much about it. Maybe I shouldn't care. I don't know. I mean, you know, if you talk about, like, he talked about the nature of the rivalry a few months back, and he said that the rivalry is fueled by West Virginia's hate and disrespect, and he said it's sometimes not clean, and that many Pitt fans avoid Morgantown trips due to safety fears, and also slandering. They don't like the unwelcoming atmosphere in Morgantown. Like, what are we talking about here? I thought Narduzzi was supposed to be a hard-nosed guy. Somebody help me here. Is Pat Narduzzi not supposed to be? Listen, I know we're supposed to hate him, but is he not a hard-nosed guy? I mean, he's a defensive coordinator. His teams play tough sometimes. What is this talk? What are you talking about? You're scared to go to Morgantown. Try going to Chicago right now. Try riding on the railway in North Carolina right now. Morgantown? Come on. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's not even rivalry week stuff. It's like a little beyond that. It's like Hakeem Mesidor. I don't feel safe here, so I'm going to go to Miami. Like, come on, dude. Quit trying to make us the butt of the joke and yourself look good. It doesn't work. Unfortunately, you can't look like Pat Narduzzi and say this kind of stuff. You just can't. You know? I mean, and then you got yesterday, he's talking about, you know, the West Virginia Mountaineers have are afraid to play us, or they don't want to play us, or whatever. It's exhausting dealing with him, man. He's one of those dudes that he gives these backhanded compliments all the time. Like, he compared CJ Ash to Cam Scadaboo earlier. Like, what? Say what now? Like, come on. Nobody's buying it. It's just ridiculous. Like, nobody thinks Clay Ash is Cam Scadaboo. It's a backhand. It's just that he loves to jest at us. He's averaging like 1 or 2 yards a carry. I don't even think he's broken a run more than 2 yards that I remember. Has Clay Ash broken a run more than 2 yards? If not, why is he calling him Cam Scadaboo? Because it's a public ha 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 you suck kind of thing. Like, it's not really a compliment. It's like, that guy's like Cam Scadaboo, like that kind of thing. He's the kind of dude that if I wouldn't get in trouble for it, I would whoop him. I would try. Like, that's the kind of honest to God person I want. Like, he that's what he pushes me to. If I could get away with it legally, I would whoop Pat Narduzzi. You know, like, that's just the kind of thing that I get annoyed with, man. So at the end of the day, hopefully Clay Ash is like Cam Scadaboo. I mean, that would be great if you could do that, you know, but it's just old. I can't wait. You know, hopefully this week we can win the game, because I don't think I can accept or deal with Pat Narduzzi and his smug attitude having this for a couple years over our head. Literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of days with Pitt fans telling us that we're afraid to play them, and also having the most recent Backyard Brawl. And not only that, it's the one that when Rich Rod came back. Like, it's just so much to deal with, dude. You know? So hopefully we can win the game. I feel good about it, honestly. I know, like, I didn't feel good about Ohio. I actually feel better about this game than I did Ohio. Don't ask me why. I think it's because Rich Rodriguez's team took 3 weeks to get better last time, under Jack State when they were 55, 60 players deep. He started figuring it out in week 3 with them. Actually week 4, I think, but technically, hopefully this is a similar situation where this team starts to play better, and I think they will. But yeah, I just wanted to address it. It's so annoying, man, dealing with these guys, Can't wait to beat their asses on Saturday. Let's go to break. We'll come back and talk a little bit about the depth chart that's been released. There's some interesting moves been made on it. We'll talk about those next on Locked On West Virginia. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by 5 Hour Energy, y'all. That's right. We're talking about 5 Hour Energy on this one for multiple reasons. You know why. Because we have to, right? If you want a time to turn it up to 10 with 5 Hour Energy, do it with their transfusion. The grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. It's the perfect for sinking birdies, making great memories with friends, and it's a hole-in-one for your energy game. And whether you're out on the course or just need a little extra push to power through your day, 5 Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love and without ever even leave the green, which is pretty dang cool too. So here's the thing. The most ridiculous course I probably played is I played a Frisbee disc golf course one time that was up in the mountains, way up in the mountains. Like when you threw your Frisbee down, it was like 500, 700, 800 yards down. And it was such a cool thing to be able to throw something that far. And so I would say that was probably the thing that threw me off my game the most when I was on my craziest course. And golf is all about good times, it's good people and good flavors. The grape, ginger, and lime flavor of 5 Hour Energy's transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the golf course or chasing down the beverage cart. Now, you can amp up the fun even more if you just want to buy, snap, and enter for a chance to dream golf trip to any golf tournament in the country. That's right. You have a chance to win a dream golf trip for any 2 people to any golf cart or tournament in the country. Tee up that trip and visit 5hewin.com for all rules and entry. No purchases are going to be necessary here. Excludes the Masters tournament and ends on October 31st, 2025. And of course, our friends over at Game Time are also involved with us today. And we're talking about Game Time on this one because college football is back, and I couldn't be more excited. The tailgates, rivalries, the energies in the stands, there's nothing like it at all. And let's just be real about this. Actually getting tickets can feel a lot more of the battle than the game itself, where you've got endless queues, hidden fees, prices jumping at checkout. That's why I use Game Time, the app that uses the advantage and gives it back to the fans. It's the easiest way to score last-minute tickets at the best prices with no surprise fees at checkout. So what you see is what you pay. I pulled up the Game Time app, and in just a couple taps, I saw amazing deals. I'm talking about West Virginia football games for as low as $25. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. And remember that the terms apply. Create that a code. Use it, LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off today. Swipe, tap, ticket, go, and download Game Time today, where you'll find the question to all questions. What time is it? It's game time. It's segment 2. Let's crack open this y'all, and jump straight into the next thing here because I want to talk depth chart madness on the West Virginia football side of things because there's a lot to talk about with that for sure. A lot of different things going on with there. So, I think probably for me, a couple things that obviously there's the injuries to Jaheim White and Jaden Bray, right? Oh, let me crack the dew. Sorry. But there's only a couple things that I noticed Let me see if I can pull this thing up here for you. All right, so let's see. I'll just go ahead and add it to right here. I'm going to add it right here. Okay. Go to gallery. Bam. Okay. Let's put this on the screen for you guys really quick. I don't know if you can see that or not. If not, I can actually just share my screen with you if you need me to. Like this. Boom. So, obviously you got Preston Fox as the starting Z receiver, Cyrus Traw, or Jordan McCants. I think Preston's going to start, and you'll see Cyrus Traw get his chance, guys. That's a big one right there. Cyrus Traw at the number 2 spot is somebody I really like. I've said that for months. I think he's a good player. Obviously, you got Rodney Gallagher at the Y position, or Rodney, or on Singleton, or Gerard Bowie. If you look at this thing here, let's see if we can zoom in some. I don't know if it'll let us or not. It's not going to let us, is it? No. Well, so there's only one or two that says there's like running back starter, Clay Ash. This is the only one I see that's got an S by it that I can tell. It's interesting, man, that they specifically pointed out he's the starter, huh? I don't agree with it, but I understand why. He must be more consistent, right? It is what it is, y'all. I mean, I would love for other guys to get more opportunities as well, but there's probably a reason or a rhyme and reason to the madness here. Because when you're looking at the running backs, especially, Ty Edwards isn't even on the list right here. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that. Something is going on with that. So obviously Sincere Bowers on the list is very exciting. I think that, is if he can just do it in the game again, like he did against Robert Morris, that would be a huge help for him. I think Rich Rod just needs to see him do it in the game a little bit more. And I understand that. You've got, let's see, the same offensive line starters. You've got Nick Cray, Walter Youngbear, Landon Livingston, Kimo Makaniole, and Tyke Crawford at the offensive line spots with Grayson Barnes, Cam Vaughn at the wide receiver X spot. Then you've got Justin Smith-Brown or Jeff Weimer. Then you've got a quarterback. It could be anybody. It looks like it doesn't say starter by Nico necessarily. It says Nico or Jalen or Max or Scotty or Khalil. So it's going to be one of those 5 guys, most likely Nico. I would imagine. I would be shocked if they made the change in Pitt week, but they might. I'm sure that other guys will get opportunities if it goes bad early. Obviously, Clay Ash, running back, Sincere Bowers behind him, which you guys know I'm so huge on Sincere. I just hope that he finally breaks through and does some big things for us, because he's got the potential to be an all-timer for us if he just gets it rolling. Because, talent-wise, he's as talented as anybody we got. That's just a fact, Jack. On the defensive side of the ball, you've got Eddie Kelly Jr. at the defensive end, also rotating around with Devin Grant, Eddie Vesterinen, Asani Redwood, Hammond Russell, Nate Gabriel, or you're going to be your D lineman. Braden Siders, Curtis Jones Jr., all your bandits, which means no Jamoy Robinson that I can see on this list at all, which is really disheartening. Doesn't mean he's not playing yet for sure. I mean, he may just be gamesmanship that they're, not putting him on there yet, but I would say it's not a great sign unless there's something that's been published that I haven't seen. I've been gone most of the day. You got Reed Carrico at the Mike linebacker spot back, which is pretty dang big. But Ben Bogle has played well at times, and so is Ashton Woods. I would say if I had to give a Rookie of the Year award to somebody, it would be Ashton Woods at this point. Yes, he has missed a couple tackles here and there, but as far as the speed, athleticism, and running around, the kid can go. Like, he's a very athletic kid and has a very bright future, especially once he puts on a little more muscle. Good luck, man, because I think he's somebody that can definitely make a big impact for us. Ashton Woods, number 33. He's 6'3", 230 pounds, y'all. I mean, he's just a stud. Chase Wilson obviously is back. It looks like I don't see anything here that says he's out anyway. You've got Ben Cutter sliding out of him with the will. Our linebackers have played better than I think most of us thought they would, which is very, very obviously it's very heartwarming to see because I was worried about it. Fred Perry's probably been the most consistent player on the team on defense, maybe on the whole team at nickel. He's played really well at times. Michael Coach Jr. keeps his starting job at corner. We haven't heard his name at all this year. Bad, good, or indifferent, which I guess it could be worse, right? He could be getting picked off, beat deep or whatever. You got Jordan Scruggs behind him on that side of the field. Then you've got Israel Boyce at the free safety spot, swapping out with Kikor Tarnu here and there, and also Derek Carter Jr. You've got Darren Lewis at the other boundary side safety, and also Justin Harrington with Jordan Walker coming up behind them, which I think all three of those guys are good players. You got Jason Chambers and Devontae Golden Nelson at the corner spots. So most everything is the same, not a whole lot of changes here. I would like to see a little more change. I would. Obviously, Jaheim White getting hurt is going to force into some of that. And I would imagine that the running backs are probably going to see a pretty healthy rotation. I don't foresee Clay Ash in this game breaking out, but I could be totally wrong on that. I just think they're going to key on him, and perhaps, he ends up, being a little bit of a decoy because apparently Narduzzi thinks he's Cam Scatabo. Oh, gosh. All right, y'all. Let's go to break one more time here. And what we'll do on the other side is I'll give you guys a couple thoughts about the brawl this week, my personal thoughts on the game, as far as how I'm feeling about it. There's a lot of people that are nervous about this game, and understandably so. I get that. You think we're going to get stroked out there in Morgantown, and I understand why you would think that. I just want to give you some alternative thinking here. We'll talk about them next. On this episode of Locked On West Virginia, we're going to be talking about you with our friends at 5 Hour Energy. With FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel, man. It's basically, it's like you bet player props. You can build the same game parlays if you want, or you can jump in live action as it unfolds. And it makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. So are you ready to play? Because if you're not, download the FanDuel app today and use FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. All right, y'all. We are back here at Locked On West Virginia, talking just a little kiss about the Mountaineers. So I've seen a lot of people kind of talk about how they feel about this game. And, I had somebody from the Pitt side that works in that building call me today and tell me, that he thinks that we're going to get blown out like Oregon, Oklahoma State type stuff, where that was like 69-3. And this is somebody that works for Pitt, as like in their facility, not on the football side. So, he's not too confident on everything. I was nervous all week, and I told you guys that, and everybody ripped me apart. And you guys, if you're watching this, you know who you are, right? But like going into Ohio week, I was very open and honest about it. I said, hey, I was talking about obviously Navarro a lot. I was talking about Chase Hendrickson a lot. I was talking about a few people a lot, right? And I got bombarded with a lot of hate over that. I understand why. I think a lot of people just overlooked Ohio for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's almost like they didn't watch the Rutgers tape. But I was nervous going into that game, Barry, to the point that I just had a pit. I guess if you really want to ask me the truth, I had a pit in my stomach the whole week that we were going to lose that game. And I never get that. Like, there's always some kind of hope. And going into that game, I just had the feeling, even though I picked West Virginia to win, it was a homer pick, right? And I really thought my brain told me, like, we're going to figure it out. But, like, I had this feeling all week that we were going to lose that game. I did. I think it was because game time, game day was on the line. That whole thing, was very important to me. As I've told you guys that I had a promise I made to my dad, who's been passed away for 12 years now, and didn't make the TCU game day. So there was something I promised that I would do for him up there. And so I put a lot on that, so I can't talk about it too much or I'll get emotional, but I really wanted it to happen. Not only for our state, because we needed it, because people look down on us so much. It sucks. So it was going to be our time to shine one day, Anyways, here we are, and it's the Backyard Brawl, and I don't know how much publicity it's going to get, but I know we all care, and if you're like me and you take it too serious, but you're okay with that, you're okay with yourself taking it too serious, let me try to guide you through this here for a second. I think West Virginia can win this football game. I really do. I truly believe that. I think there's a path. I think a lot of people have given up on Rich Rod early in this season, which is ridiculous. There's literally nothing that can happen this season unless we start getting beat by 50 points a game that would make me give up on him in the first year. That's just me. I gave Neil Brown several years, and I would do the same for any other coach. It's just no different just because it's Rich. When you consider what the Texas Techs and the Oregons and the world are putting on the field and the kind of money they're spending to do it, you just have to realize the way Rich Rod wants to build this team is like the old way, and he's got a way he wants to do it. There's only going to be one portal open. You're open again, right? In January, I think he said it was, or December. I think it's January after the bowl games. Yeah. So it gives everybody a little bit of incentive to perform in bowl games, right? And then it's over for the year and no more portal action. What's that allow you to do? Well, it allows you to take guys, maybe have a couple years left, right? Or maybe 3 or even freshmen. And you could also hopefully retain your high school guys that you bring in. And that's the big goal with the revenue share. Even if I can't go out and spend a bunch of money and get these great players, I can at least pay my high school guys to stick around for a couple of years. And maybe you can develop them that way, is the hope. And I like that philosophy a lot. I think if you allow Rich Rod to do that, this will be a quick turnaround. If you're telling me that Rich Rod can go back to how it used to be and he can recruit and stack a couple recruiting classes, I think we'll be good again at some point, in the next couple of years. But that doesn't mean we can't win Saturday. You throw the records out the window for this game. You throw the predictions out the window for this game, and you throw the players out the window for this game too in some instances, a la Pat White and company in 07. Much less talented team can win this game. I mean, do you think the talent disparity was greater in 07 when we were 28.5 point favorites, or now when they're probably going to be right around 3 to 5 point favorites? Freaking 07, right? Now, they had the best player on the field that day. I will concede that, and Shady McCoy. We didn't have anybody as good as him on our team. Like, he was the best player on the field, and he proved it. But that's it. Like, they didn't have much else. They just ran the ball down our throats. They basically did the exact same thing happened to us that happened against Ohio. It's the kryptonite of a Rich Rod-led kind of team is if you can't get first downs, it's really hard on your defense. Same thing with Dana Holgerson. It's no different. Any up-tempo style is very dangerous when you're not, when you're turning it over, you're not getting first downs or what have you. But I think this team is getting better as the weeks go on. The defense is salty. It's not elite. It's solid, and it's salty, and I think it can keep us in the game tomorrow. If our corners can cover their guys, I think we got a shot. Holstein's a great player. If Jamori played in this game, I would feel a lot better about us. A lot better. Just that one player can make such a big difference because he's big enough to bring him down on the ground as well. So I just want you to have a little bit of hope. Let's see what happens. Let Rich Rod game plan for this game. Ohio had a lot of leadership back on that team in good places, in the safety spots, their center, their quarterback. They had a wide receiver that's obviously powerful, good, in Hendrickson. And they put a good game plan together at home, and we just didn't play well, So it happens. It happened to Michigan against App State, right? And it happens to people all the time. It does not mean that we're as bad. We talked about Iowa State 2 years ago losing to Ohio and winning 8 games, right? I'm not saying we're going to do that. I'm just making a point that teams lose to lesser teams all the time. There's a bunch of factors that contribute to it. I think in our situation, it's mostly to do with continuity, the cohesion of the team. I think it's still coming together, especially in the O-line. And we just have to hope that it gets better, right? What if they push Pitt back this week and actually run for some yards? Will that give you confidence going into Kansas? It would me. Kansas just gave up 1 million points to Missouri. They got a running quarterback. Let's just not push the panic button just yet. It got a lot harder. The cards are against us in some measures because of the schedule that we have. Absolutely. But, and I'm not going to wave the white flag until we've lost 7 games. Then okay, you got me, right? Until then, I'm not waving it as far as bowl eligibility goes. I like West Virginia's faith in this one. I like their chances in this one. So that's all. I appreciate y'all for joining in. I'm going to jump off of here. Before we go, like the video, please. If you're here, subscribe. If you're new around here, we're almost to 6,000 subscribers, which is great. Oh, by the way, I forgot to show you guys something. Doggone it, I meant to do this a little earlier. So I wanted to thank you guys for something. You guys did something that is insane for me. Like, when I'm talking insane, I'm not exaggerating at all. Okay? So I'm going to pull this up and show it to you, okay? And I want to thank you guys for all the help that you've given me to get here, because there's just no way that I would have ever thought I would be in this situation. Like, I thought, I knew I was doing okay, but I didn't ever think I was in this situation as far as that goes. So we're going to show you guys a couple different things here. And I just wanted to thank you for all your support. So, all right, let's pull up a couple different things. I'm going to put them in the thing now. Okay, adding them to it. I had to take the screenshots. And I couldn't show you the entire thing. So there's one, and then here's number 2. Okay, Downloads gallery. All right. So here's number one. Top 30 highest growth podcasts. Right there, number one, West Virginia. We've grown over 2,000%, guys, in a year on podcast. So if you're listening to this right now, you're a huge reason. Number one in the entire company, guys, of Locked On. That's out of the NFL. That's out of college. That's out of baseball. That's out of any sport you can name. There's literally dozens and dozens and dozens of hosts. I mean, we've got probably 50 or 60 college hosts alone, maybe more. And number one out of all of them, all the NFL, all the NBA, all the hockey, number one out of all of them, because you guys show up and show out as West Virginia fans. You punch above your weight. And I believe that we're the most elite fan base in the country, because you give a guy like me who just doesn't always believe in himself a voice, man. Like, who would have ever thought I would see that right there? So, and then also, if you want to go another route on YouTube, look at where we're at with some of the biggest shows on YouTube for college sports. LSU, Auburn, Miami, Big 12, which is Drake Toll. You see what he does. Bama, Vols, BYU, Sooners, Wolverines, Big 10, Irish, and then West Virginia. We're surrounded by blue bloods. We're over Ohio State. We're over a bunch of different ones. We're over a ton of, we're over Texas, right? Like, it's pretty wild in YouTube views how good we're doing as well. So there's a lot to be proud of here, right? A lot, and the goal is, in this company, you want to be in the top 15, you want to be in the top 20, right? So, for us to stick around and be on the level of those guys, especially when our football team's been bad, says a whole lot about us. Imagine if we were good, what it would be like. Guys, when Rich Rodriguez got hired, I had 7,000 people in here at once watching live. Like, that's the power of this fan base. I know I'm not for everybody. I know that. I wish I was for more people. I think I have some divisive takes that some people dislike. Sometimes I can be overly dramatic. I personally don't think I'm clickbait, but some people do think that. I'm more so just dramatic, right? Like, I probably overly dramatize certain things, but you got to get people in to watch. That's just the way. It's not my fault. It's YouTube's fault, really. Like, if you just put a regular thumbnail with a boring title or headline on it, people will not click. I tried for years. It just doesn't work, So you kind of have to figure out ways to get people to have their interest piqued. And I've kind of been good at figuring that out. That's why I'm in the top 12. And it's because of you guys showing up, man. And I do work hard. I spend 10 hours a day sometimes at this computer. Some days like today where I've only been here for 2 or 3, but I would say that it's not clickbait. You know what clickbait is, Larry? Clickbait is a lie. Clickbait is me saying something's one thing and then coming in here and doing a complete lie. It's a complete lie. Like yesterday, right? I put up a thumbnail that said that there was a twisted narrative between Pat Narduzzi and Ren Baker, right? And there is. Like, that's exactly what happened. Go back and find me a clickbait, please. I challenge you to find a clickbait anything on here. I'm like I said, I'm dramatic for sure, but not clickbait. And once again, like my buddy always tells me, people think clickbait's a bad thing, but it's like you're criticizing me for the one thing that I'm supposed to do, which is get views. So it's like almost a little bit of a catch-22. It's like, what are you doing trying to get those views? So, I don't like to be dishonest about it. That's the thing. Like, I mean, everybody makes mistakes. I'll never just purposely lie about something. Like, for instance, you see on some people's things, and then we'll get off here. You see on some people's things, breaking news, so-and-so is going to the SEC, right? And then you get on there and it's like a theory about that. So you'll never see me do that, right? There's maybe a chance I've done it in the past, like early on when I first started. I'm not sure, because you don't have a lot of confidence early on. You're trying to get people in, but anymore, like, I have my own opinions, and a lot of times I just put my opinion on the thumbnail on something. Whatever my opinion is on something, a lot of times that's just what I say. So, anyways, I just wanted to address that. I appreciate you guys so much, though, as you guys just do so much for me as a person. Like, you keep me in the pocket, you keep me wanting to create. So, I think it's something I just don't ever want to overlook and not be grateful for. All right, y'all, let's jump out of here. Fire TV College Football Kickoff. Locked On and Fire TV present College Football Kickoff. We're your ultimate college football weekly preview, where Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation, along two-time OEP Coach of the Year, Gary Patterson. He's also going to be alongside Jesse Holley, a former college star, and Locked On's local experts, where a college football preview show only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. Good night, guys.